Don't look back, move forward. Once upon a time, in a remote village surrounded by mountains and the whispering bamboo, there lived a young monk named Ren. Every day, after completing his duties at the temple, Ren would walk to an ancient wooden bridge that spanned a serene river. He would stay there for hours, watching the water flow endlessly, carrying fallen leaves and twigs without ever looking back. Master Li, an elderly monk with deep eyes and a gentle smile, silently observed Ren. One afternoon, as the sun began to paint the sky with golden hues, he approached the young monk. "Ren," the master said softly, "what do you seek in the current?" Ren sighed. "Sometimes I think about the mistakes I've made. I can't help but look back, master. The past weighs heavily on me." The elder nodded and pointed to the river. "Look closely," he said. "Do you see how the water never stops? It doesn't return to retrieve what it has left behind. It continues on its path, always forward, accepting the course that lies ahead." Ren frowned, not fully understanding. Master Li smiled. "Come back at dawn tomorrow," he said. "The river will teach you what you have yet to see." Ren bowed respectfully. That night, as he prepared for sleep, he felt a seed of new curiosity grow in his chest. He closed his eyes, listening to the distant echo of the water, and let the gentle rhythm of the river lull him into a deep sleep. At the break of dawn, the sky still wore deep shades of blue. Ren rose early, just as the master had instructed. With quiet steps, he crossed the path of damp stones and reached the wooden bridge. There stood Master Li, hands gently clasped behind his back. "You've come," the master said calmly. Ren bowed his head. "I'm ready, master." The elder pointed to the flowing current beneath their feet. "Look closely, Ren. What do you see this morning?" The young monk gazed at the water rushing steady and swift. "I see the river, just as always, moving forward." The master nodded. "Do you think the river wonders about the branches it left behind? Do you think it mourns the leaves it carried away yesterday?" Ren shook his head softly. "No, master. The river simply goes on." The elder smiled. "Life is the same way. The past is like leaves that have already fallen from our tree. Don't keep dragging them in your mind. If you walk looking back, you will stumble in the present." The words echoed deeply in Ren's heart. He felt something inside begin to loosen, to flow with the same gentle ease as the water. Master Li placed a hand on his shoulder. "Today we will walk together," he said, "and with every step, you will leave behind a burden you no longer need to carry." Ren nodded. For the first time in a long while, his feet felt light. Ren and Master Li began walking along a path lined with blooming cherry trees. The morning breeze carried the sweet scent of falling petals, as if the sky itself was raining flowers. "Master," Ren asked as they walked, "how can I leave behind what hurts? There are memories that come back again and again, like shadows that won't let me go." The master stopped by a small clearing and sat down in the lotus position, inviting Ren to do the same. "Imagine you carry an invisible backpack," he said. "In it, you hold every mistake, every sadness, every word left unsaid. What happens when it becomes too full?" Ren thought for a moment. "It becomes heavy. Moving forward gets hard." The elder nodded. "That's right. Life asks you to walk lightly. It's not about forgetting, Ren, but about accepting and letting go. The river doesn't ignore what it carries. It simply doesn't hold on to it." Ren lowered his gaze. For the first time, he understood that his suffering came from holding on to what was no longer there. The master closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "Let's practice," he said. "Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine that with every exhale, a leaf falls from your backpack and is carried away by the wind. Don't look back to catch it. Let it go. Ren obeyed. At first, his mind resisted, wanting to hold on to every leaf. But with each breath, something inside him opened like the river to the horizon. When he opened his eyes again, Master Li watched him kindly. "Today you have begun to flow," he said softly. "Remember, don't look back, move forward." In the days that followed, Ren continued to visit the bridge at dawn. There, in the quiet companionship of the river, he began to discover a new way of seeing life. Each morning, he watched the water flow endlessly, without pause or attachment. And each morning, with every breath in and out, he let fall one more leaf from that invisible backpack. One afternoon, while sweeping the temple courtyard, a young monk approached him. "Ren," he said, "you seem different. Your face is more serene, your steps lighter. What has changed?" Ren smiled gently. "I've learned not to look back," he replied. "Like the river, I move forward." The young monk frowned. "But what if you forget something important? Aren't you afraid of leaving it behind?" Ren looked at the leaves falling from an old nearby tree. Leaves don't forget the tree. They simply know it's time to let go. What's truly valuable remains in the heart, without the need to carry it as a burden. The young monk nodded slowly, understanding Ren's words. As night fell, Ren sat again by the river. This time, he didn't just watch the water. He listened to the silence around it, the whisper of the current, the distant song of a night bird. And in that moment, he understood that moving forward was not an effort, but a natural flow when one lets go of the desire to control the river's course. With a serene smile, Ren stood and returned to the temple, letting the night wrap him like a cloak of peace. The seasons passed. The cherry trees lost their blossoms, then sprouted new leaves. The river kept flowing, indifferent to the changes of earth and sky. Ren, now more at peace with himself, had made the practice of letting go a daily habit. Every dawn, with the first song of the birds, he would walk to the bridge. There, he would breathe, watch the water, and let his mind flow light and unburdened. One morning, as he crossed the temple courtyard, Master Li called to him. "Ren," he said with a kind smile, "I want you to come with me. Today, the lesson continues beyond the river." Intrigued, Ren followed the master up the path leading to the top of a hill. The climb was steep, and the wind whispered through the pines. At the summit, the master stopped and pointed at the view. From there, they could see the fields, the distant village, and the river winding like a silver thread. "Look, Ren," he said. "From here, everything seems small. Even the river you watched every day. The same happens with the past. Seen from the height of understanding, it loses its weight, its shape. It's only part of the landscape." Ren gazed at the horizon. For the first time, he felt that his memories no longer pulled him down. They were part of his story, yes, but no longer held him captive. The master placed a hand on his shoulder. "Each day is a new step, Ren. Don't look back searching for what has already passed. Don't fear moving forward. Like the river, your path always opens before you." Ren closed his eyes for a moment, letting these words sink into his being like stones in the riverbed. When he opened them again, he knew the journey was just beginning. Returning to the temple, Ren felt a deep lightness in his chest, as if the wind itself lived within him. The days passed calmly. The daily tasks that once felt like routine now became moving meditations. Sweeping the floor, serving tea, tending the garden. Each gesture was an opportunity to be present, free from the weight of yesterday. One evening, as he lit the temple lanterns, a traveler arrived at the monastery. His face showed fatigue, and his eyes carried the sadness of someone burdened by an invisible weight. Ren offered him warm tea and a place to rest. After a while, the traveler spoke. I've lost so much along the way, friends, lands, certainties. Every night I relive my mistakes and can't find peace. Ren listened quietly. Then, in a gentle voice, he asked, when you came here, did you bring the stones from the path with you? The traveler frowned. No, of course not. I left behind what I no longer needed. Ren smiled. Just so with the past. There's no need to carry it. Let go of those invisible stones. Look at the river. It always moves forward, always finds its course. The traveler was silent for a long moment. Finally, his eyes grew moist. How do you let go? He asked. Ren took a small leaf and let it float in a bowl of water. Start like this. Acknowledge the weight, thank it for what it taught you, and then let it go. Then take a step, and another, without looking back. The traveler nodded. For the first time in a long while, his face softened. That night, under the trembling light of the moon, Ren understood that every soul is like a river on a journey, and the greatest act of wisdom is to flow without resistance. As the weeks passed, more travelers began to stop at the temple. Some sought answers, others simply a rest from their journey. Ren, with his growing serenity, became a silent beacon for them. He did not offer grand speeches or complicated answers. He showed them the river, teaching them to listen to its flow. One day, an elderly woman arrived at the temple. Her steps were slow, and her eyes carried decades of nostalgia. I have lost those I loved, she confessed to Ren. And every day, my thoughts drag me back to what I can no longer reclaim. Ren led her to the wooden bridge. They sat together in silence. After a while, Ren spoke. Look at the river, teacher. Do you see how it flows, even when stones seem to block its way? It does not fight. It finds a new path, and it always moves forward. The woman gazed at the water, her eyes softly shining. But the heart, she whispered. How do you convince the heart? Ren took a handful of dry leaves and let them fall into the water. The heart does not need to forget. It only needs to learn to let go. Each heavy memory is like these leaves. It's not about denying them, but allowing them to follow their course. The woman closed her eyes and breathed deeply. As she exhaled, something shifted in her expression. A gentle sigh, like the wind brushing the river's surface. Thank you, young monk, she said in a trembling voice. Today, I will begin to flow. Ren smiled tenderly. That is the first step. Don't look back. Move forward. The river will show you the way. And as the sun dipped behind the mountains, the bridge became, once again, the place where the past dissolved into the present. Time flowed on just like the river itself. Ren continued his life at the temple without grand ambitions or rush. Each day was a new river, a fresh current waiting to be discovered. Sometimes he glanced back, but not with sorrow, simply acknowledging the path traveled, like one who watches the wake left by a boat on the water without trying to follow it. Master Li, now old and wise, smiled when he saw him. You have learned well, Ren, he said one golden afternoon. Remember always, the river never stops, neither for grief nor for glory. And we, like the river, must move forward with a light heart. Ren nodded. I understand, Master. What matters is not rushing or resisting, but flowing, letting go, trusting the course life offers me. The elder took a sip of tea and gazed toward the horizon. That is right, Ren. And if ever doubt visits you, listen to the river. It will remind you what you already know. That night, beneath a sky sprinkled with stars, Ren sat for the last time on the bridge before winter arrived. The water flowed steadily, carrying both new and old leaves in its current. and in that endless flow, Ren felt a deep peace within. He no longer needed to look back. The present moment was enough. With a serene smile, he rose and walked forward, letting each step be like the river, free, light, and in harmony with the flow of life. Don't look back. Move forward.